Welcome everybody, this is Carlos from the Omega Plus Trend. Here's a quick follow-up training video of based on what you already learned about the formula of the OT, how we're deploying it, and the reason we're taking this trade. I'm going to give you a little bit of a freebie today, and with the hopes that you can reply later on how it works. All right, so here's my 4-hour chart. As you already know, I'm into the long-term perspective. I just went long right here on rotation after the market pulled back up and close above this trend line. This is our forecast levels that we have. We don't need to talk about that, but I just letting you know that that's the triggering system that I'm using. You can use whatever you have, right? Now pay close attention to the left side right here. Look at the VIX. VIX is all negative. It was a little bit mixed this morning, so I was waiting patiently for everything to line up. But the VIX from top to bottom wasn't negative. I'm sorry. From M1 to M5 was a little bit mixed, a little bit bullish, but big time frames on the bottom was negative. So I had to be patient for the drop to finish and transition into the buy mode. So this is the reason we basically went into the long position here. Look at the NQ now bullish and the AES bullish. Now notice that YM and Russell also are massively into consideration to the long side of things. If you pay attention to Russell all the way through, everything is basically in positive number, very strong in the lower and middle. And the long-term perspective is just shifting now into the buy side. And the same thing applies with the YM. It's not the same thing as the ES and the NQ because these guys are coming from a massive drop this last week. Make sense? So anyways, having said that, that's the entry. My targets to the upside on 4-hour chart are 25,372, 25,518, 25,670, 25,858. Okay, I'm going to give you now the MES. Right, here it is. The same thing, I went a little bit late in this one, but the market just touched that synergy zone to level 2. You see here's a big player level. So this is not validating yet the clear push to the upside, but I just entered in rotation because the VIX was negative and the S was pushing through. And I use a lower time frame transition. I'm going to show you in 5-minute chart. Basically, you see this move right here and the burst to the upside. The fact that we broke 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of intentions into the move or previous, structure, that suffice for me to take that risk to the upside. Okay, back into the 4-hour chart. My targets are, this is the first target, to be honest with you. It's just hitting that green line. I'm going to click here and I'm going to close 2 out of the 5. There you go. My stop loss right now is at the bottom of the rotation in this bar. And the next targets are 6,875. All right, 6,875, 6,912, 6,973, and 7,045 on the ES. All right, so you do you. Let me know how it works. Look at the OTs balancing. There is a event starting, natural gas storage coming out right now, which is probably going to help a little bit into the crude oil. All right, so lastly, we're going to go into the MYM. Again, this one, I have to wait. This was a little bit more of a happy trigger, right? You see this zone right there? I really would love for them to clean break above that level. But I'm seeing the intentions, and from top to bottom, everything is mostly positive. So I'm jumping the gun because it seems like the overall tendency would be to the upper ground. And lastly, if I go into the reports here, there is no other reports other than the long-term purchases today at 4 o'clock. But the high impact report already happened and it's 10:30. So the market already reacted on those news and just pretty much continuing in a swift mode. Targeting to the upside, I missed one here. Hold on. I'm going to show it to you. There you go. So the next targetings are, that green line was one targeting. So I have 5. I closed 1 in there. But anyway, 48,683, 48,866, 49,078. I don't have any other further targets. I'm going to keep it within those confines for now. Let's just move into the Russell. M2K. Beautiful rotation. I'm going to show you how this looks on 5-minute. You understand. Rotation, I mean the market makes a bottom, and basically as the market progressed to the upside, that was the intended move. Then it went a little bit against me, so I need to withstand the heat of the pullback, but my initial stop was on the propeller gap here on this bar. That you can see this impulse move, if you will, right? The market come back, fill half of the gap, and it's just moving along to the upside. All right, so back into the 1 hour chart. Let me bring in targetings in here for you guys. All right, so for those of you trading Russell, the next target is going to be 25.58, 25.64. Those two are back to back. Those turns into more of a zone, if you will. Then we got these other two that also turns into a zone. But notice there is a purple line in there. This is what we identify on our forecast mastery analysis process. That's the key. That's basically where my target would be, is right there. That's my swing trading. Remember, this is a 1 hour and 4 hour chart analysis, right? This one would be great, and we have further targets to the upside. But for now, what the one that we really want to aim for is the 25.58, 25.64, and most likely the 25.80 level on the Russell. All right, so there you have it. That's kind of the concept here. These guys on 4 hour chart hasn't set up yet perfectly. I'm just using a lower time frame to fine tune transition, because VIX, NQES, the OT basically was tapping on my shoulder. That's what I should be looking for. We already have right here gold. It seems to be spiking up. Let's just go to MGC. And this is, again, rotation. Let me go into it to 5 minute. You see this market move on the way down. They left behind the bottom bar of the bottom. At the close of this bar, I waited for the break of it, and that was the entry, the initial stop on the swing low. I'm going to move it to the break-even point right now. And right now, we just pretty much close the gap. So it will suffice here to close 2, because prices go back to the mean, right? So they're closing the gap. And I'm going to bring at least 2 more targets for you now. All right, so there you have it. These are the 3 targets that I have in front of you. So we got 43.77, 43.82, 43.86. And this is a power zone right here that we need to break free from. And there you have it. So if I go into the 4 hour chart, though, the bigger target is sitting at the 400, which is basically what I'm after. So the 400, 399. So that's going to be my target so far. Actually, that's the stop. And this is a target on the swing side of things. Confirm. And we're ready to go. All right. So let me know what you think. Hope you enjoyed it. And please share back into what we're sharing with you, how your trading is doing, just by replying to this email. We're putting together a private community, and you guys are going to be in for a treat. It's going to be, let me show you how this is going to look. So we have our own community. You can see right here. And once you log in, basically, we're going to be providing each and every one of you a channel that is going to be called Omega Blue Strand, where you're going to come in and be able to share with other people basically how your trading has been doing. And we're probably going to be using this channel just to basically put you up to speed, like videos like this. And you're going to also be able to go to the events that we have, we've got plans for you. And for the courses, you're going to see here courses that we're going to be providing for you, which is basically everything that you already know that we have in the OT. Basically, when you go to the resources tutorial, you have a full walkthrough video right there. We're going to update that soon. We got new features coming in. How to use the most simplest features of the OT, and some over-the-shoulders live trade execution, but basically just like the one that I'm giving you right now will be provided for you. And if you want to see anything from another market or whatnot, let us know. Okay, so with that being said, let me know what you think, and thank you very much for jumping in. Hope to see you as a long-term client with us and take your trade to the next level. Let's OT lead us the way, show us the path, and we'll basically follow along with it with our own trading strategy.